Hello, good evening. It's already stuff falling off. Don't even know what fell off then. Good evening, it's Monday, so it is monthly make time. And I will apologise. Well, you've probably heard, you can hear the wind outside. It is wild, so we'll see how we get on tonight. Not promising. Well, if I suddenly start like shouting and thinking of that wind, whoo, I've been taken off to Oz or something. It really is whipping up a storm today. Evening Maxine, evening Mum. It's really windy. I don't know where it's come from. It wasn't too bad earlier, and then just this last couple of hours it's just really started to get the wind up again this evening. It wasn't supposed to be windy tonight, was it? But it definitely is. So hopefully we will see how we go. Anyway, so Monday night we are playing with our monthly make stamp set. I've got an idea, not quite sure what we're going to do. Well, yeah, I know what I want to do. Whether it works or not is another matter. So let's get crafting, shall we? Move that over. There we go. I had a bit of a whoopsie the other day and I spilled quite a big glass of water all over my desk, and so everything's on my desk that was on my desk, but it's not quite in the same place as it was. And yeah, it's not good when you have to move things without wanting to. So I want to do a tag, but I want to use some cardboard. So I've got a tag for sizing. Yep, I've got some gorgeous corrugated cardboard which we're going to rip down and make so we can see that lovely corrugated centre to it. And I've got our bulb. So I'm not sure where to start with this one. I think I'm going to start off with my bulb, and then I know how big I want to make my tag. I think that's my plan. That's what I'm going to start with, I think. So I'm going to move these over for 1 minute, and I'm going to grab my guillotine, because I could have started with my tag and then made this bit to fit, but yeah, I'm going to be chicken and egg all night tonight, I think. So I want this as small, well, as close to there, so 3 1/4 wide. That's not going to help me because I need to get the length first, don't I? So have I got a pencil on my desk? Probably not. I've never got what I need right to hand, do I? I'll get there in the end. Once I get going, I get into the swing of things, don't I? So I've just marked this. I'm going to be a bit rough and ready with it. Sorry if I keep going quiet. It is that wind is just whoo. Take that off a little bit more because it wasn't very nice. What a bit of chop there. Left all my markings on it. And then this one, I probably want to take about. I'm going to take about 1 inch off it to begin with and see where we go from there. So I just want it small. I want a piece small enough to put my bulb on. I'm going to pop it down there, I think. Yeah, I think that's about the right size, isn't it? There we go. I'm not sure if I'm not getting my comments, so let me go back in. No, I don't think I'm getting comments tonight, so I'm not ignoring you if you are joining us. I just can't see you. Right, so you can see I've got a nice little piece like that. Yep, just big enough for my bulb. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to keep that out of the way for the moment as well. I'm going to go over there. And I've already picked out some colours. I know, shocking. I've got my colours sorted. So I have got, let me move that back into the pot, otherwise I'll never see it again. I've got mustard seed, carved pumpkin and a bit of picked raspberry for my colour palette tonight. And you'll notice we're in black, so we have got lovely distress inks. So we're going to get a very see-through set of colours, but it's going to blend. So by blending I mean it's going to mix. It's not going to be like oxides where we just layer them up. We're going to blend, and if I'm not careful I might blend this to mud. So that That's what we're going to work on tonight. Not making it to mud, but to make a lovely background using our distress inks for a change. I'm going to grab my mustard seed to begin with. And we're just going to colour this like we would if we were using our oxides, but of course I'm using my inks tonight. Evening, Lynn. Don't know if you can hear it, there is like fence panels and everything rattling around me. It's quite unnerving. I thought this wasn't coming till tomorrow. But no, must have turned up early just for me tonight. So you can see I'm just layering my colours down onto here. And I am being careful. Can you see? I've already got yellow fingers. So I just need to be careful that I don't pick up too much of the ink as I'm pouring it down. I don't play with distress inks often enough. They are gorgeous. Look at that lovely layer, the blending we're getting. Okay, I'm just going to pop a bit more down there. And then I need a little bit of pink. I don't know why. Can you see I've got so much of a habit of turning it round? Yeah? Because I'm used to my distress inks. I don't have to with these. I could go paler to darker. Because I'm going paler to darker. I could just use the same bit of tissue, but it's a nice little habit to have got into. That you just keep turning your tissue so you don't contaminate your inks. So I don't have to with these, like I say, because as long as I go paler to darker, not an issue. I've programmed myself that much. It's weird, isn't it, what you do just by out of habit. It's that good old muscle memory. Right, I think I'm going to pop a little bit more orange back down on there. So I would need to turn my tissue for that one, because I'm going back to a paler one. Can you see I've just got edges? I'm not liking them as much. So I'm just going to go back and blend in a bit more of my orange. There we go. I'm quite liking that now. Let's just spritz, maybe not spritz my worktop. There we go. Getting close. Doo, doo, doo. Ooh. I moved my bin to the opposite side as well. And the amount of times that I'm putting stuff on the floor, it's not right. So I'm going to use our incomplete circles. I can't decide if I want to do a couple in pink before we go in with our main colour. I think I might actually. I think so. I'm gonna go straight in with the pink. There we go. I only want a few of these, less is going to be more, I think. Though they do look pretty cool, don't they? So we might put a few more on. There we go. I don't want too many. There we go. I think I'm quite liking that. and I'm just going to wipe my desk. And I might even give it a bit of a blast with my heat gun, only because we're using our distress inks, so they can be a bit wet, or wetter than our oxides. Check that out. We always say inks aren't as bright as oxides, but those colours I've used mustard seed, carved pumpkin and picked raspberry, and they are beautifully bright tonight. Right, I'm loving this actually. Get it nice and flat again. There we go. So we are going to pop this on here. And this is where you can hear the little cogs turning, can't you? Because I want to put some more of my incomplete circles. Now I wanted to do them in black and highlight them in white. See, this is kind of where my mind starts going, isn't it? So, but I haven't quite left myself enough room, I don't think. So I'm going to go back to my incomplete circles. I'm going to take my orange. You knew I'd end up layering my colours. I should have just done it. Should have just done it at the time, shouldn't I? Pop another little one down here. Right, I'm going to leave it this time. And then I'm going to stamp my bulb. I'm just going to blast it once more. Sorry. Can you just see that orange just gave us a little bit more texture? You don't see a lot of it because unlike oxide, it doesn't sit on top, it blends in. So unless it's darker like the pink was, you're not really going to see it much, but you can just about, if I do that, do a bit of twizzling on it. Yeah. Right, there we go. I'm quite happy with that. So now I have to see if my anti-static pad wants to work. It had a bit of a accident the other day. It got put in a puddle, and I don't recommend putting your anti-static bags in a puddle because they don't like it. It was very soggy. It seems to have dried out now. It's been on the radiator for a few days. It's back to a powdery kind of. See, it's got stuff coming out of it as well. So it's a good start. Do I want grey or do I want black? I want black. I don't want grey. I'm going to grab my embossing powders. Let me open my tub up, otherwise lid didn't want to come off. I'm going to put that there, all ready to rock and or roll. And then let's get go. Oh, look at that. Could have needed to go on a radiator for a while, that. Oh, it's going to make me sneeze a lot though. Oof. Look at all that powder it's sending out. Oh, definitely making me sneeze. Don't Don't know what it is about that one. It's got like a funny little scent with it. Nothing. I wouldn't say it's a perfume. It's just, yeah, kind of a little bit floral, I guess. But it just seems to make me sneeze. Oops. Oh, I've got it everywhere now as well. Right, so I'm giving this a real good ink up. I'm going to pop this on here. Stop it. There we go. Splats. Didn't quite centre that very well, but hopefully it will do. Oh, I'm faffing. I am faffing. It's not a good start when I start faffing this early. There we go. Put the lid back on that. Might want that again. We will see. And to now wish I had done the black bits behind it. I should have gone with my gut instinct. But I got though, oh, it might not work. I didn't do it, I wish I had. Would help if I put my lid back on my ink. Oh, how cool does that look? Yeah? So, I just need that to cool a little bit more. Probably is cooler than you think. Lynn's saying she's loving those colours. I know, pretty cool, aren't they? But they don't look like picked raspberry and carved pumpkin, do they? But they are. Because we're that used to using oxide. Oh, I'm not used to using oxides because they are my go-tos. Now, I am faffing again. I do apologise. So, I'm going to be coming on our tag like so, and I'm going to put something in black. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but we will soon see, won't we? If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then we go with plan 103. Yep, if it does work, it could look pretty nice. Because we're going to cut another bulb out in a minute. Yep. And we're going to colour in some of these. We'll get some pens in a minute. But yeah, let's go for it, shall we? I am thinking we need a slightly smaller version of this as well. And it's going to have a different texture to it as well. So, because remember we've got our embossing powders and then we've got our ink, which will look a bit different. In a different area, never mind. can always tell when I'm not sure about what I'm doing because I go quiet, don't I? Whoa! That was a big gust. I don't mean to go quiet. Just sometimes I have to think. And that does take a lot for me. Okay, right, I'm going to stop and see if we do like this before I go down this a bit too much more. Get that off my desk before it sets. Keep saying I need new tablecloth, don't I? But we're not quite there yet. So I'm just going to use a paint pen. There we go. And I might have wanted to dry this off a minute ago. I store them the wrong way up, which doesn't help. Haha, there we go. Just needed patience, not something I've got buckets of. You know me when I'm crafting. I want it to work and I want it to work now. There you go. Just going on the inside lines of my circles. And at the moment it's not looking very much like my bulb's my focal point, but it will do. Because we'll work on that in a minute. I'll just make some nice little white bits. Oops. Because we're working on distress ink as well. My white pen keeps getting turned whatever colour ink I'm going over. So just remember to always just do a little, if you're working on like your inks and your oxides and things like that, and Brusho, especially Brusho, just remember your paint pens and your gel pens and things like that, just to do a little scribble after you've finished. And that way, you know, next time you pick up your gel pen, paint pen, whatever you're working with, it's not going to be the colour of your last project. Evening Sue! Oh, that was a bit yellow. See, I had this bit more pink in my head, but I'm liking how it's turning out. Okay. Oh, there you go. I thought I had a few more to do. There you go, my pen's a bit yellow. Just make sure it's white again. And it is. Right, I might need that, so I'm going to leave that upside down. So, now I'm going to work on these little bits in my background. Oh, don't go with greys. Oh, I think I'm going to go blue. Greys and blues, maybe. There we go. Just grab some pens for now. Oops. I'm going to turn them over. So I just need to be a little bit careful because obviously everything's still a bit wet. A bit dark, I think. I'm going to start with that one. So again, like I did last week, I'm just going to choose little areas. I add my colours to. And just be mindful as well that again, you're working with distress ink. Yep. So you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Every time you hit it, it is going to turn, it's going to like reactivate. So just be careful. There we go. Stop rolling if I move them there. I don't know what's worse, when you can hear the wind or when it goes silent. It's just gone really quiet outside. I'm not trying to do these in the same places, but I'm ending up doing it the same. I don't mean to. There it is. So a little bit of blue. I don't think I'm going to do all of it. Ooh, might be a bit too dark. There we go. Yeah. You can always tell when I'm colouring, can't you? Because I do go quiet. There you go, and because I've got that gorgeous embossing powder on here as well, it's making it even easier to colour in. There you go. I'm not going to use that really, really dark one, I don't think. I might just see if my orange wants to play. And again with this one, I just need to be a little bit careful because those inks will be picking up on my brush, on my pen. Thought I'd just splodged that everywhere, then you could tell, and it's like, oh no, I hadn't. There we go, right. We haven't picked up much there, had it? I'm going to grab a slightly darker grey. Oh, that's really dark. Come on, that one. Alright, I'm going to use that one. Right, so I'm just going to add, I could have done this, and I probably should have done this with my pen, with my charcoal pencil, but I've started now. There we go. And then I just need a bit that's big enough to be a bulb. Grab another piece of scrap, and we're gonna black ink this one, and then we're going to emboss it in clear. There you go. Just want my bulb this time. Nothing more. Nope, I'm going to do it the other way. I know it would have saved me a bit of card, but actually I want a nice border around this as well, because we've got all that colour. There we go. Move that over there. That's blast this. So is it windy with everyone else now? Is it just around here that's got the wind? Because I know we've got another storm coming, haven't we, tomorrow? Oof. There we go. Now, decision time. Boom. I'm actually going to go back to the same two colours now. I'm looking at this. I've got a lot of orange in that centre bit. So if I mainly stick with my yellow and then just do a little bit of my orange in the middle, and then we'll splat some water at it, I think it should jump out more than enough. So good old kitchen roll. Ooh. So I'm going back in with my mustard seed. I hadn't quite dried that enough, and the way I know that is because as soon as it hit that black ink, it went, oh, thank you very much. It made it all move, which is why it's kind of a dirty yellow. So again, I'm using my inks, so I have just gone straight onto that ink pad with my tissue. Get a clean bit of tissue because it's just making it dirtier. This is why you should always make sure before you go to do anything what you're working on is nice and dry. I didn't. Because you know me, I'm missing patience. There we go. And then all I want to do is grab some water. I just blobbed that a bit too much. Yeah, can you see I didn't leave myself nice little dots? I got more like big giant splodges. That's okay, we'll work with it. I've got no choice but to work with it, but we'll work with it. I want this to be dry, so I'm just going to dry this off. And as you can see, I am searching for my other ink pad. I want my dirty one. Because we are going to put a clear emboss over the top of this, but I don't want to put all that yellow ink straight onto my ink pad. Where's my dirty one? I normally have a dirty clear one. That sounds really odd, but you know what I mean. And a clean one. So my clean one is for anything I want to do clear. Well, it's for clean stamps basically. And my dirty one, there we go, there's my dirty one. Yeah. It's not that bad. Have another oh, there's my other dirty one. It's got dirty written on the side. So this one, oh, it's not too bad either. It's got all sorts on it. Yeah. So where I don't mind transferring lots and lots of ink to it and things like that, I've got, see, dirty. I still pick up the wrong one. That's okay. So I'm just going to chop this down. There we go. And this is where you make that decision. Do you want a border or no border? Because once we put our embossing powder over the top, there ain't no going back. You can remelt it and stamp into it, but there's no taking it away. It's on there and it ain't going away. I've got my little bulb. Bin's on the other side. There we go. I'm going to grab my pen again. And I'm just going to go and white out the edge. Could have done this when it was still on the bigger piece of paper, but you know, I like to make things difficult. I could have also masked it off, couldn't I? Made it nice and white around the edges. Okay, and what I'm going to do as well is, missed the bottom. There we go. And what I'm going to do is round this edge here where you've got like that double doodle line. I'm just going to colour that bit in white as well. There we go. And then in my centre, I'll grab that orange again. Trying not to get white pen everywhere, but you never know. There we go. Again, I just want to dry that off because I want that white pen. I think it's dry. It's dry on my desk anyway. There we go. And then won't be clear. I just had that moment of panic then. It's like, oh, I don't know where my clear is. I do. It's right there. It's not in a box, is it? So I'm going to grab a piece of paper, piece of card, anything around here will do. I used to have a lovely little tidy tray that I used. I don't know what happened to that. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper out of a book. There we go. Right, we're all prepared now. So I've got my dirty ink pad, and all I'm going to do is rub this in it. I say, is it actually wet? Just like that. Yeah, it's going sparkly on the other side. Shiny, not sparkly. That's two different things, isn't it? Shiny and sparkly. There we go. So I'm going to move this out the way. Grab my clear embossing powder. Would be good if I had some tweezers somewhere. There we go. I'm just going to try that. And it really would help if you had a pair of tweezers or something just to hold on to these. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to tip this back in here because we're going to have to work fast in a minute. There you go. Just in time for the wind to pick up again. So trying not to heat up my whole tub of embossing powder. There we go. You want to keep it nice and quick, pop it back in the centre. Then we're going to do exactly the same again because we want a lovely thick triple layer, double layer. Oh, Maxine, this was all the rage years ago because you can stamp into it too, and that just looks amazing. There we go. Oh, I used to spend hours triple embossing them and stamping into it. It's pretty cool. All the different effects you get. And then if you've got any like gilding paste and things as well, get that on there. And do you remember Beauty as well? Oh, you don't seem to be able to get hold of that these days. I went through many a tub of Beauty. This is where you want to make sure your embossing powder, when it says clear on the tin, it is actually clear on the tin. It's not got bits in it. You can see some of it actually melting as you pour it on. There we go. I think that's going to be my limit. 3 lovely thick layers. Leave that over there. And I think, Maxine, we might just come up with what we're doing for February's Crafty Roo long then. We might be doing some stamping into embossing powder. Because it is a long time since I've seen that done. There we go. And now it is going to take a while to cool down. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to move it gently. Because believe me, you don't want to be sticking your fingers in there because it hurts. I won't tell you how I know, but I do. It does hurt a lot. Right, so we've got a fabulous bulb that's going to look amazing on the top of our... There we go, I'll just put my little tribe of embossed pads over there. I think that would be cool for a craft along, wouldn't it? Those old techniques that we used to do years and years ago that you just forget about, don't you? So yeah, we'll do some stamping into embossing pads, I think. So I'm just going to clean this off, I think, just in case. I might want it in a minute with something a bit paler on it. I know, that was a very rare occurrence of me actually cleaning a stamp. Doesn't happen often. Right, so we have got our lovely little tag back with us. I have got a decision time. Am I cutting my corrugated down to the size of my tag? But you're not going to see much of it, are you? No. And that's my problem. I want to see it. So I'm going to make my corrugated a little bit bigger than my normal tag. So I've just got, it's literally a bit of box. Yep. nothing special. I've got a bit of box going on. So what I want to do is I want to add probably about half a centimetre, a centimetre, half an inch around my tag. Yeah, I'm just going to take that. Would help if I had a normal pencil. No, but I've got a pen, that'll do. It's a blue pen as well. So I'm just going to draw a quick line around. Ooh, didn't mean to draw on my tag. I was trying to save my tag. So I can see whereabouts I kind of want to cut. Pencil would have been better. I know it's ages, it's those old techniques, isn't it, that you just forget about. There they are, looking for my big scissors. Sometimes it feels like we're always reinventing the wheel, doesn't it? It's like, no, we used to do that a long time ago. Back in the day. I used to use my UT, my melting pot. Me, I want to say beeswax, but I don't think it was beeswax. It might have been. I'm going back years here. Yeah, years and years here. Right, so I don't think this is gonna come off very easy. So I've just wet it a little bit, and I'm going to start. Maybe I should have done the other side, might have been easier. And all I'm doing, can you see, is I'm starting to tear back my top layer. Again, we used to do this all the time as well, didn't we? And we don't do it as often these days. So again, getting my finger in there and just tearing back that lovely top layer. Tell you what, the boxes are made a bit sturdier these days, aren't they? They're not made to tear as easy in the rain. We just keep tearing back where we want it to reveal that gorgeous corrugated behind. Just keep wetting it and peeling back a bit more. When you think you're happy. Quite therapeutic, isn't it, as well? Ripping up old boxes. The only downside with this is you can see where the top was taken off on that side. You know, like the waterproof covering. I think the whole thing is going to come off. I've got a bit too spray happy. It is easy to separate. It is cool. But again, it's another one from years and years ago. This has actually come away very clean. I didn't want it to quite be this clean, but that's okay. The only downside is they are a bit sticky. So we're going to dry it off. I'm going to leave that bit on there. I've got a big pile of boxes near the door. They need to go to the recycling bin. But I thought, no, I'm going to use some of them. So all I'm going to do is I'm just trying to dry. I know, I spent all that time getting it wet and I want to dry it. I'm not going to worry too much about getting it perfectly dry. dry-ish will do. I just want it workable, yeah? So at the moment, if I was to hit some of these areas with ink, it's just going to go to mush, yeah? I don't want it to be mush. I will say, Maxine, it is easier to do it this way. It just does leave it a little bit sticky sometimes. Just make sure you dry it off. So if you're missing patient like me, grab your heat gun and do it. Right. You can see where we're going with this, can't you? I'm thinking this needs a bit more of a black edge to it. But we will get there. We will get there and we will be happy with it. There you go. Look how beautiful that is. Look at the sheen on that. Woohoo! Almost looks like a resin top, doesn't it? I guess that's what we used to use before resin, wasn't it? Used to get me little what were they called? Bits of, I've got a box full of them actually up there. I always want to say Gambon. It's not like the yeah, where you meant to stick a gem on the top, but I was too cheap for gems. I used to get a bit of paper and stick it in garbage. Yeah, it'll come back to me. So I used to stick my own little pictures in it and then get me UT over at top. The only downside of using kitchen roll, isn't it? It gets chuffed up when you're doing stuff like this. I'm just adding a little bit of colour. Only a little bit. Nothing too outrageous. There we go. We'll see if we want a little bit more. No. The answer, but I do want to get rid of. Oh! Just colour my desk in pink. It's going to bug me now what they're called. But you use them for jewellery. They had like a flat bit and a raised edge. And you were meant to stick gems in them. But we used to stick like little bits of pattern papers in and things, and then either cover them with glossy accents or with your UTs and things like that. And it's going to come back to me at some point what they're called. It will. It won't beat me. There we go. Now you're going to think I'm a bit weird doing this, but I want bits of white on here. And I could use my paste, but they're in a drawer down there that I've not been able to get to in months because I've got stuff piled up in front of it. So I'm going to use my embossing powders. I've got my white one. Yep. And I'm just going to use my stamp because that's what I've got next to me. I'm just going to add a little bit, and it's only going to go on the raised bit. I've nearly put that on twice. But anywhere that's wet it's going to stick to, and it has. Never mind. It'll do what I want it to do. It's got no choice. I've told it what I want it to do. I do get bossy, don't I, when I'm crafting. I want you to look like this in the end, and you will. So just be a bit careful when you're pressing down, because obviously you're going to start squishing that gorgeous texture that we've just got going. And can you see? Just little hints. I'm going to just dip it in there because I know this is still a little bit wet, so that's what I'm banking on really. You can always brush away. See, that's a bit too much there. That's okay. I should have been a little bit more patient when I was drying it the first time round. Look at that corrugated. Oh, it is pretty. Well, I've got some in the crinkles down there that the heat just doesn't seem to be getting to. I might brush it off in a minute. If I heat it from the bottom, is that going to work? Not that my camera will be happy with me blasting hot air at it. There you go, I got it that time. Right, there we go. How cute. See, you could have just got your finger and a bit of like texture paste or something. You're not going to see that bit now down there, are you? Rude. Will do if I do it like that. Yeah. See? Looks fab, doesn't it? Or even like that. But no. My piece is going to go right over the top of it. Rude. But I know it's there, and I know that bit looks really cool behind it. So I want to edge this a bit more. So I'm going to dip it in some embossing powder, because I'm there with me embossing powders tonight, aren't I? Might as well. In for a penny and all that. So I'm going to grab that dirty ink pad back. It's also a good one if you've got an ink pad that's running out a little bit as well. Yeah, so if your ink pad starts to run out a little bit and you want to do like all over like we've just done, that works too. Oh, come on. Because you're pressing in, the reason it works better is because you're pressing your image into it more and you're moving it around as well. So, remove my spoon. And I'm just going to ink up. I'll do it on my desk and then deal with the consequences in a minute. I'm just going around the edge. Can't remember if I did the bottom or not, but I have now. And then we're just going to just dip it in. Now I was going to brush a lot of this off, but I'll show you in a second, because I used my ink pad. Look at how we've got those lovely square bits. Yeah, I was going to go in with my paintbrush and just remove a little bit, but no, I am liking that kind of, well, is it retro or angular, industrial, that kind of feeling. There we go. So again, I'm just being careful. And I use grey embossing powder there, I should have told you, shouldn't I? I could have gone and got black soot or something like that, but we've got so many lovely textures going on. I just need to be a little bit careful when I'm going near my stuff I've already embossed, because I don't want to over melt it. don't like embossing from the back. I know you're meant to get a smoother finish with it, but it just takes one slip and your heat gun's pointing at the wrong thing, isn't it? But at least when you're pointing your heat gun down, you know exactly where it's going, whereas where it's pointing up, especially if you're working with kids and things like that. I know how dangerous I am by myself. Right, there we go. How cool is that? So we're going to put that on there. That was still hot. Oopsie. There we go. I know I cheated then, didn't I? That is going to come and sit on there like so. Not sure if I just want a little bit of something going on behind. Haven't quite decided yet. See, that wasn't quite dry. That does fit in the middle of my tag. Yep, but I'm thinking I quite like it like that. And just looking what washi tapes I have got sat here looking at me, and the ones that are looking at me are like bright purple and pink and things like that. No, not happening. But we have got, as always, that could look quite cute. So all I'm going to do with these, actually that one's already looking all right. And I just want a little slither of this one as well. So let me just get my go that way. I don't want too much of it. Ooh. Nearly. It'll get me one day, my guillotine. I want to kind of put them together. It'd be nice if I could find my brads. But we will be here till month of Sundays doing that. If you wanted me to find me brads. Or a staple. Ooh. That could be the answer. There we go. Not quite sure what's happened to my red tape, but it's gone a bit everywhere. I'll pop a little bit of red tape on there. Still that on the wrong side, haven't I? Oh well. It'll go all the way around then. Like that. And this time, there we go. I'll make sure I get the right side this time. we're just going to come and pop this over the top. But I want my brads or even just a good old stapler would look very cool on that. Add some red tape to this one. I would use my heat gun as well, but I've got no chance of knowing where my glue sticks are for it. So red tape it is for now. And I'm glad I sized my tag up. I was umming and ahhing, wasn't I, whether we should size this tag up or not. And we did, and I'm glad I did. Because I think, get off, thank you. And of course I could have ripped all of these to, you know, like the edges and stuff. Evening, Rachel. I'm playing with my embossing powders, and we've decided what we're doing for the next Crafty Roo along. So it's actually been a very productive evening, hasn't it all? Squeaky chair time. And I'm getting blown all over the place because the wind out there is wild, so I will apologise for the wind again outside. It's not the wind so much you can hear, it's the fence panels. I wouldn't care, but they're not that old. They just seem to be rattling. See, like on cue, they just go, oh. Good old rattle there. I want a brad or something. It's going to bug me now until I go and get a brad. So I don't think I am going to stick any more of this together. Well, I'll stick this bit on because I can. Yep, we're going to stick this bit on. Yep, another storm tomorrow we've got, haven't we? It's windy enough now. He said it was going to be windy yesterday. It wasn't the wind that was so much of a problem last night. It was the rain. Honestly, last night I thought it was going to come through the windows, the rain. It was coming down that heavy. I'm going to double this one up. It's almost like hailstone, I think, the rain last night. But it's coming from all angles as well. Normally it just comes onto the front of the house, but I think it's hitting every window possible last night. That is going to go onto there. Like that. I am loving that. And give me 2 minutes. I really do want to see if I can find my brads. So 2 seconds. If they're not where I think they are, then, well, I don't know where they are, but I'm hoping sorry, I found my staples, but not my stapler. So unless it's a bit hard to miss, it's one of them big pink ones. Right, so brads, we love our brads. It's getting there, isn't it? I think if I can find. Whoop. Oh, I've only got 2. That's a bit rude. Okay, well, I think this is just the project to finish these ones off. Can you see they're like a little screw head? So I think we will use them. Got some lovely little ones in there. Yeah, I'm just going to pop those two in, I think. Tell it's been a while since I've seen my brads. Like, I did think I had a few more of those screw ones. It's how it goes though, isn't it? Grab a couple of little ones as well. They look like nails. Right. I'm going to stop faffing because I could be sat here playing all night with this now. But I've had so much fun making this. And I got to use a bit of a cardboard box. I literally have thrown everything at this, haven't I? Embossing powders and a cardboard box. And I should really be using my glue gun, but like I say, no chance. Not got a clue where my glue sticks are. Come on. We're just going to throw that on there. And then I need a porky tool. Could be looking for that forever as well. Oh no, 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 no. Haha, we'll use that one. It's as good as a pokey tool. So I'm going to put my big screw in here. Oh! Got my crocodile sat right next to me. That would have been easier, wouldn't it? I've started, so I'll finish. And it's good fun, isn't it? There we go. Arrgh. Grab them two and put them on there. How cool does that corrugated cardboard look though? It's an age since I've done that. Pop that one in there as well. Let me get my tissue. My tissue back. There we go, so much easier. It's all sticky now. You can always tell when I'm moving, can't you? Because the chair. It is the chair, it's not my achy bones. So. Bear keeps saying he'll come and oil it for me, but he never does. Right, and then we just need some ribbon. Ribbon. So it would have been easier just to grab my crocodile, wouldn't it? I'm going to put that just there. Yeah. Oh, not quite in the middle, but it'll do. See, if I'd have done that the first time round, it would have been a lot easier, wouldn't it? So I know straight away I have some black and just seeing some orangey colour. it is. Thought I'd imagined it then. There you go. They work really, really well together, don't they? So, don't need too much because I've done an oversized tag. I know, tags are a set size, but mine isn't tonight. Just gonna go snip, snip, and no, the worst centered hole in the world, this one. Well, nothing's centered in here. I do wish I'd torn my tag a bit more though, you know, around the edges, but now I'm just getting picky. I know. I'm being picky. And I'll just go snip. Ooh, that looks even worse. Snip, thank you. There we go. I've left that a bit too big. Right, I'm faffing now. But there you go. I've really had fun doing that. So we used Distress Inks, remember, which has given us that fabulous background. We used mustard seed, carved pumpkin, and a bit of picked raspberry. We used our incomplete circles in the background, and then we've basically used embossing powder. So we've embossed our gorgeous industrial bulb on the back. We did a bit of triple embossing. Blast from the past that was, wasn't it? Does look cool though, look. Ooh. Look at all that embossing I've done. I know. As Bear would say, go big or go home. And we definitely went big on the embossing tonight. And we've got that gorgeous corrugated tag in the background as well. Yay! Enjoyed that one. So, let me see if I can find my way back. Still feeling a bit damp, that. I'm going to leave it on top of the radiator. There we go. But it's definitely more poofy than it was. Come on, Mr. Mouse. Thank you. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. I have had loads of fun making that. I've got yellow and pink fingers. Always a sign of having fun, isn't it, when your fingers are a different colour. And I got to use some of my cardboard, so I might not be throwing away all them boxes. Might have to use them for other projects. And we now know what we're doing for February's Crafty Roo along as well. Very productive evening. When are we back? Wednesday, 10:30. I'm going to share with you something new that we have, which hopefully you'll find as cool as I have. Hopefully. So that's 10:30 on Wednesday. Keep your eye open as well, because sneaky peek for February's monthly make is coming up. What else? So yeah, new stuff Wednesday at 10:30. And sneaky peeks of next month's monthly make. It only feels like, well, it was only last week that we launched January's monthly make. Definitely going fast this month, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. It's like somebody went, yeah, you got it January. Sorry, you're only getting February this year. Anyway, wind started again. Yeah, that's it. Wednesday, 10:30, something new. I do hope you can join me for that. I'm sure there was something else I had to tell you, but it's gone whooshing out of my head. So yeah, that's it for me. Sorry it's taken me so long tonight, but I have had fun making that tag. And hopefully it's given you a few ideas. Well, some old techniques to have a go at. So yeah, I think that's everything. Do take care, stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.